I was 19 years old. So at this time, I was going to school for mass communications, you know, minor in theater. But like my skills with the camera, amazing. Right now I'm using my iPhone. But my skills with the camera was amazing. Like I said, I wrote Claflin's first sitcom. Literally got the job to be their program director on spot. But anyway, fast forward, I was working on a documentary called How Does It Feel to Be Adopted? And I gathered all the students, or not all the students, but I gathered about 5 to 6 students that were adopted on campus to have them share their story. Like, how does it feel to be adopted? So I thought it was interesting to bring forth my adopted mom. So anyway, that same day, I went into the house and I was like, yo, like, I want to find my real people. And God, I kid you not, like God moved instantly. That day I found my real family on Facebook. Fast forward, we've been connected ever since. But I can honestly say that bracket of 14 years of not having my family put me in a space of abandonment issues, right? And I think, you know, I'm 6 years old. We moved to Long Island. 6, 7 years old. We moved to Long Island. And my mom, like, where did Karen go? Where did Karina go? Where did Grandma Dot go? Could not wrap my head around it. But on top of that, like, now I'm being raised with foster siblings because my mom loves taking kids. My mom loved the kids, and you know, foster siblings, they come and go too. So now I'm struggling with abandonment issues, which we'll talk about later on. Well, I've been up since 4 a.m. Not for the week. Like, you know when God wakes you up like 3 o'clock in the morning, 3:30 in the morning. Low-key, it was like 3:30, 3:45 when I started getting the nudge to wake up. So anyway, I got up, right, 4 o'clock, getting ready. It's this weekend right here, y'all. After today, which I pray for favor, grace, favor. Speaking of favor, there's this scripture called, Psalms 5, where it talks about God's favor surrounding you like a shield. And that's what I pray for me today, favor. Favor, 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 favor. I actually did receive favor today on the way to here where I'm headed. I went to Dunkin' Donuts and this lady got me a donut. So, you know, favor does surround me like a shield. Super excited. Let me pay attention. Yeah, so I'm headed to this women's expo. I'm super excited. After here, I'm going to Atlanta to my big brother's surprise birthday party. Shout out to his wifey for setting this up. Super excited. But y'all, I'm low-key nervous. Why am I nervous? Talking about my books kind of gets me in like a nervous point. Or I wouldn't even say nervous. It's just like, I'm an author. How did I get to this space of being an author? And I don't even consider myself an author, but it's just like, yo, I wrote 2 books. So I think that's pretty dope. So duh, I am an author. But I think like a few weeks ago, I was talking to a teacher and I had told her about my work. I showed her about my work. And then another teacher, Mr. A, he actually got 2 of my books and started reading. He was like, girl. And I was like, I know. And, you know, I gave him the gist of how I got into being a writer. Like, I've been writing for a long time. Like, I've been writing for a long time. Literally, I would just journal and scribble and whatever the case is. My grammar is horrible. But shout out to ChatGPT, Grammarly, and all the resources that we have. My grammar, it was like, woo, God was working on me with communication style. But I would write poetry and poems and short stories. And like when we had AIM, I would put like my little story like through AIM and whatever the case is. But really dope. And so anyway, so she was intrigued with the fact that I was an author. So fast forward, I'm at this Valentine's Day event. So God has me in so many different places. Like I said before, when people, they ask me like, what do you do? I don't sit there and tell them I'm an author because I'm a woman of my, like, not a woman of my word, but literally like I do it all. Like once God tells me to do something or I do something, it literally turns to gold. Or being an event coordinator for this Valentine's Day event. Literally I've been, like I said, my hand's been everywhere. I did like a lot of events in 2025. How many events have I done so far? Banquet, Valentine's Day, Black History Program, or Tutu. That 5 so far. 5. I've been an event coordinator for 5 different events. Boom. All right, let me back up. So Valentine's Day event, we're talking to somebody. And long story short, she's like, yeah, she's an author. And I forgot what was the conversation, whatever it is. But she introduced me as an author. And I had to take a step back. And I'm like, yeah, I'm an author. You know, like I said, I have my hands in so many different things. But, yo, I'm an author. So, anyway, So after that, after kind of like having that realization, like, yo, I am an author, she comes to me again, the same lady, Miss Moore. I love her. She's the sweetest. And she's like, hey, we have this woman expo and I would love for you to present your books. Like, talk to the students about your books, all this stuff. And I'm like, yo, slow down. Like, you know, like, hold on. Like, I know I just kind of came into realization that I'm an author, but it's just like, okay. And then I finally told her, yes, I'll, you know, come and show my books. So that's where I'm headed now, to this woman expo to display my books and talk to the kids. But it's interesting because it's just like, when I was having this conversation with Miss Moore, she was like, you know, not many people can say that they're an author. You know how I'm writing this third book, or I'm thinking about writing this third book about this woman being adopted. So, plot twist, that's where I'm headed to after work and after the Women's Expo. I am headed to Atlanta to my real family. And I'm excited. I am excited. Sometimes, you know, this is my truth. Like, sometimes it's just like, interesting. I'm gonna say interesting when I'm around them, because I see certain quirks that they have that I have. I see the way my sisters laugh and I laugh. I mean, you know, certain things that they do and I'm like, wow, like, this is my people, this is my tribe that I yearned for so long, right? And my family, like I said, I was adopted at 2 weeks of age. My mom, my adopted mom, Harlem Dowling, reached out like, yo, we have this baby out here, crack baby. Mom has HIV. We'll be testing her for the next year. Would you like to, you know, watch over her while we test her and do all these things? My grandma, she had all my siblings. I'm the baby. So my grandma was like, this is a lot. So my adopted mom, she was like, you know what? Yeah, praying woman. She's like, sure. So she ended up getting me. And long story short, she officially adopted me at the age of 5. So my name changed at the age of 5. That's why you guys will always get Jasmine Destiny until I'm married. About later on, because I just pulled up. But anyway, I'm excited, y'all. I'm excited.
The thing that I love most about being an author is what's the hardest thing that you had to deal with while being an author?
The hardest thing that I had to deal with while being an author, just starting. Hey, there we go.
That's better than yours. No such thing as a like that's better than yours. Love yours. No such thing as a like that's better than yours. No such thing.